guys, it's Julie. Welcome to the third episode of Flower Friday. Today we are going to be working on these. They are kind of daisies, I guess. Maybe. I think they're daisies. And this one, to me, kind of maybe a marigold. This one, too, actually, if you were to do this in yellow, could be a marigold. These are cut from the exact same image on the silhouette. Now, I'm going to post the link below for, or I'm sorry, not the link, but the number that I used on the silhouette. And then I'm also going to give you the Cricut cartridges that there is a daisy on. I know that a lot more people have Cricuts than have silhouettes, so each week if I use my silhouette, I will try and post something that's comparable for the Cricut. And then I think that there are a couple of actual punches that are good for this as well, and you can probably use the Retro Flower Punch by EK Success, and I think that that one's pretty popular. I don't know if I have it handy. Let me just check here real quick. Hold on just a second. You could probably use this one and use this one and get similar results. It is only a 5-petal flower, but I think that if you layered it and make sure that you offset the petals, you'd get a smaller flower, but something similar. And I'm sure that there are other punches out there that are a little bit bigger than this, maybe more petals. And if there is, if you'd like to leave a comment, and please leave the name of the punch in the comments, that'd be great, because I don't have a ton of flower punches, and I'm always looking for extras. Okay, so let's get started. What I've done is, this is a layered flower, obviously. There's three sets of each size of petals, okay, on each of these flowers. So what I've done is I've already gone ahead and I've colored and shaped most of my petals so that, you guys don't have to see the tedious portion of this video, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape and color these last 2 petals, and then I'll show you how I put them together. Okay, so I'm just going to slide these over to the side. Let me shape this one for you real quick. I'll show you that first, and then we'll go and we'll color this one. What I've done is I've used my paper piercer, okay? And I've just used my paper piercer to mark the center of the petal. If you can see that, just like this, okay? And then I'm just going to fold around it. So just set your paper piercer there and just fold around it. Now, if you don't have a paper piercer, you don't need it, okay? You can use your fingernail, okay? I'm going to show you this with my fingernail this time. So we'll just put my fingernail right in the center of the petal, and then I'm just going to fold around it, okay? It produces the same effect. It's just easier if you have something in the middle, instead of having to use your fingernail. So this goes pretty quickly, and as you can see, the coloring on this flower isn't perfect, and that's okay, because flowers aren't perfect, and they weren't meant to be. So let me just finish this. Okay, so that one's done. Now we'll go ahead and we'll color this petal. I am using today, on one flower I'll be using actual glimmer mist, and then on this one here I'm going to use my homemade glimmer mist. And this one I colored with the butterscotch alcohol inks, and I used gold Pearlex. So I'm just going to spray it generously. Now, as I'm drying this with my heat gun, I will fast forward the video for you so you don't have to listen to it. I'll be right back. On this flower, it is important that you color both sides. As you can see on the finished one here, you will be able to see the underneath of the flower, so you need to make sure that you color both sides. Okay, now that that's thoroughly dried, we'll go ahead and we'll shape this petal as well. So again, I'll just use my paper piercer, and I'm just going to fold right around the paper piercer. Just kind of shape this petal right around it. The weather here in Illinois is gorgeous, and as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going outside. I cannot wait to take a nice long walk with the dogs. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're just going to shape these a little bit, and all I'm doing is the same thing I did last week. I make a little circle with my forefinger and my thumb, and I set my flower right inside of it. And then I just push down with my other finger and just give it a little squeeze. Okay, and this is just going to help flip those petals upward. And I do that with all of the sizes. Just make littler circles with your fingers when you get to the littler petals. Okay, so now, again, I use hot glue. You can use whatever type of glue you want. But I do recommend something that's quick drying. When I make flowers, I like for them to dry quickly because, you know, I don't like to sit around and wait for things. I'm pretty impatient. So that's why I use hot glue. But like I said, if you're not comfortable with hot glue, don't use it. You have to be comfortable with the adhesives that you're using. So I'm just going to put some hot glue right around the center. And I'm going to make sure that when I'm placing these petals that I'm offsetting them. Okay, because that's going to give your flower the full look. Okay, you need to make sure that you offset your petals. Okay. And I do 3 of the same size. Okay. Now, this here could be, if you wanted a smaller flower and one not as dimensional, you could stop right here and just put a flower center in the middle. Okay, and that would be gorgeous just on its own. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep placing these flowers. Okay, now what I like to do is I like to do each set of 3 individually and then put them together. Okay, so I'm going to put my hot glue. And then make sure that I offset. Oops, see, on this one I didn't get. Sometimes it's a little tricky. There we go. Offset nicely, and then you do the same with the next one. And you can get rid of all those spider webs at the end. Okay, so then you've got your 3. Oops, I hope I wasn't off camera for that whole thing. And you've got your 3 petals in the medium size. Okay, so now we're going to go and we'll do the small one. Sorry, I've got a little bit of glue on my fingers. Okay. Going to just give my small petals just a little bit of glue there. Then I'm going to go ahead and set this next one inside. Offset the petal. Okay, and do the same thing with this one. And make sure that you offset. See, sometimes it looks like it might be offset, but it's not. Okay, so now you have that one as offset the petal too. Alright, so now we're going to glue all 3 of them together. And it's just the same way. Put your hot glue in the middle. You know what, let me move this gun. Okay, sorry if I moved the camera there. Okay, and then we're just going to make sure that we offset the petals again and push it together. And see, we're getting fuller and more dimensional, okay, just by adding the layers. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing. And I think I'm going to have to break this video into 2. It looks like it's going to be a little bit long. Okay, and then you've got your 3rd layer. Okay, now, look at how beautiful that is. How nice and full. Okay, it's perfect. So now let's find something for the center. I like to use buttons. You can use whatever you want. I mean, I've used brads. I've used actual flower centers, rhinestones. But, I don't know, for me, I want to say that this is kind of a country looking flower. So I'm going to go ahead and use a button. That one I think is going to be too big. But I think on this one I'm going to use orange. Just something to give it a little pop in the middle. And I'm just going to hot glue that on. Oop, oop. And stick that guy right down there in the center. See? Very pretty. Now, I like to finish my flowers off because, you know, I don't know when to stop with glitter. So I like to put just a little bit of stickles on the top. And I think I'm running out of this one. And I'm just going to hit the tops of the petals. Just get some on my fingers and just run around the petal. No kind of science to it. Just something to give it just a little bit of glitter when you see it in the light. Okay, I'll come back with in just a second with part 2 of this. Okay, welcome back. Sorry, my memory card in my regular camera is small, so I had to delete the memory and upload that video real quick, or download the video off my camera. Okay, so the next one that we're going to make is this one here. Okay, this one's in a real pretty pink color. Okay, and this one here is in turquoise blue. And this is an actual glimmer mist color. It is called turquoise blue. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to color this and get it dried up. On this flower, you only have to color one side. Okay, only one side needs to be colored. So we'll quick do a little bit of color here. Okay, and then we'll get it dried up and I'll fast forward that part of the video again. Okay, now these petals are considerably easier to shape. There isn't much to this one, no bending really or anything like that. All you're going to do is take either a paintbrush or I'm going to use my stylus, but you can use anything. And I'm just going to pull the petals so they curve, like I'm using curling ribbon. That's all I'm doing here, is just pulling them so that they curve. Using my thumb and the stylus, and I'm just putting pressure on it and pulling. And that's going to give you a nice curve. Okay? And then, there's one other thing that you need to do on these. Same thing as last week, we're going to use our stylus, and this again is a Fisker stylus. Let's see if I can get that name in there. Fisker stylus. Okay, and then all you're going to do is, again, just circle around the center to lift those petals up. Okay, see how it lifted those petals up nicely? Alright, and now we're going to glue. It's the same process as the last one. You'll glue all of the sizes together. We'll go ahead and let this one be the bottom. Okay. And we'll put the next one on. Make sure that you're offsetting the petals. Okay, and then I'm just going to squish that down, give it nice shape. I'm sorry, you're going to hear my phone ringing in the background. I'm too far away from it to stop, so same thing here. It's probably my husband, and if it is, most likely you'll hear it again because he'll call back right away. Okay. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to press that down, give it a little bit more shape. And do the same thing with the small 3. Oops. Sometimes I just don't get it right and I have to pull it apart and do it again. Okay, I've got one more there. Okay, same thing, just going to give it a little bit of shape. Alright, now let's glue these guys together. Make sure that you offset all the petals. This makes your flower look nice and full. Okay, now just going to give that just a little more shape. Let me just hit that with the heat gun real quick to get rid of those spider webs. Okay. Alright, now let's go ahead and go across the top again with some stickles, make it extra shiny. I'm all about extra shiny. Yeah, this one is Stardust, and it is just about empty, I think. Okay, I have to find me another one of these guys. Alright, so then I'm just going to hit the tops again with the flower, with the stickles, sorry. And this one I'm giving a little bit more than I did on the other one because the petals are flatter, so it's a little bit easier. Actually, I think I am going to hit that with even just a little bit more. Make it really dramatic. And then we'll find something for the center here. And I do like to spread the stickles on with my fingers. I know that some people don't like to do that, but I feel like I get better coverage when I use my finger. Okay, let me find a button. I don't know. I think maybe a pink button will look cute in there. Let me see if I can find a smaller one. Here comes my phone again. Okay, definitely going to use that pink one. Sorry about that, guys. I usually keep it right next to me, and this time it's over across the room. Okay, and then we've got our cute little button on the inside. Now, I want to show you, just give you guys like a little heads up for next week. The flower that we're going to be making in this one is a little more difficult and a little more time consuming because you have to hand cut the petals. So I'll probably have a lot of it done beforehand. We're going to make this. I don't know if you can see that, but I know Mother's Day is coming up, and I've put a pin on the back of mine, and I'm going to wear it because it's really pretty, and it's very big. See my hand, and you can see the flower. Okay, it's very large. So that's what we have to look forward to next week. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Bye.